Before I even start talking about this, I have to say this run through had me have a long look in the mirror, man. I'm getting older and I know I'm not with the times anymore. Like my reaction time isn't as quick. I don't have as much time to play video games. And I might just be washed. Maybe it's because genuinely this was a difficult zombies, but I was struggling. Before I even get into like the actual gameplay, I want to say the mood and the vibe of this zombies. It was really different. It's a little more gothic. We have the constant rain. We're using dark hues and colors like maroon, a lot of gray, a lot of black, and I like it. I also appreciate how there's not just one power switch that you have to spend minimum 3,000 credits for to be able to unlock everything, but rather it's generators, which are spread out through the map, and they're really easy to find. You just follow the red wire, turn it on, and it's usually worth your time because you're unlocking a perk, and it gives you incentive to explore the majority of the map because you genuinely need to open the power to be able to get most stuff done. I also didn't realize you start with 4 grenades, which I think is like a first in zombies, because usually we don't have lethals, so that is pretty cool. I did get the black box here. That's a part of the Easter egg. I will not be doing the Easter egg. I remember it being extremely difficult. Nothing like the Descent Easter egg, because, oh man, we'll get into that later. But this one was fun. I remember the hunt. It took at least a week just of them exploring to realize, oh my god, it's in the corner. We just had to get this black box and upload it, like, straight up to the computer. I remember one part specifically where you needed a key code, and you had to get a laser weapon, and then with that laser weapon, you had to shoot the 3D printer, which in this game is box, and then it gives you the key card. I also did forget that you don't start with the exosuit, and I kind of like that in a way. I feel like it'd be a little overpowered, and all it would give you was movement, whereas when you get the exosuit in later rounds, it's almost like Galvanuckles in how its melee works, because it's a one-shot punch. And you need it to unlock all the perks, which is really nice. They're pretty spread out. I'd say it takes about 2,000. And I'd argue that I'd say the exosuit is more important than actually turning on all the generators. Unpopular opinion, but I'm not mad at it. The guns in this game, I will say though, do feel very weak. There is an upgrade station where I believe you can upgrade to level 20 or 25. But it starts costing about 2,500 per upgrade, and that's a lot of beans. Especially when you have to constantly rebuy your perks, because you'll get those infected rounds. Those rounds where if the zombie simply touches you, you have to go clean yourself off. And those caused for the most stressed out runs I've ever had. Because the shower, in order to decontaminate yourself, has a cooldown. So it really is a race against time to make sure you didn't get hit in order to clean yourself, which I really did like. There are some unique power-ups that came with this game too, such as unlimited ammo, where, you're just spraying. You don't even have to reload. It's just constantly going. As well as explosive touch, which is pretty, it's in the name. A zombie touches you, you blow the fuck up, they all die. And I think it works like an invincibility in a way. I'm not sure. But when I got it, I wasn't taking any damage. So I'm assuming it's the most overpowered perk or power-up that you could possibly have. Right there, the one-shot punch. And it feels really good in this game. I like the uppercut. There's something about when I lunge into a zombie with the knife, I feel a little vulnerable there. Like I'm getting a little closer. Maybe I don't actually move forward with it. It's just the animation. But something about being able to just uppercut someone and still be able to back up is really cool. There's also score streaks in this game, which can give you right there credits, or sentry guns, turrets that follow you, and those are nice in the medium rounds, I'd say from round 10 to 15, but as you get later, you do not want to risk your life in order just to get a sentry. That realistically is getting blown up in about 5 seconds. It is nice though when you have a horde and you're able to use it to have like a little distraction, like they'll target the turret before they target you, which is really nice. So it almost works as a monkey. And I don't think we had monkeys in this game, so it's nice to have that little backup. There's also little credit machines here where you get 100 credits, and I believe there's 5 throughout the map, so that's pretty cool too, and that I'm constantly getting money. The S12. I remember this thing, and it is a giant piece of shit. I'm not sure why I picked it up. Security, that's another unique power-up to the game. Unlocks everything and has all the traps going, which is kind of a blessing and a curse because I did take a lot of damage when the trap went off. And I guess I'm silly because I thought it'd be like not doing damage to me, which I'm not sure why I thought that, but it's still a cool idea that throughout the map things are just getting absolutely blicked. Now, I don't know how many hits you're allowed when you have the Juggernaut or Exo health in this game. It does feel a little weak though, because we start to have zombies who actually have exosuits, and those things are not only buffed up, but they do a lot of damage. My least favorite zombie, but probably the most essential in order to make this run difficult, are the electrified EMP zombies, which deactivate your exosuit. And that's like the main draw of this game, so when you take that away from me, I'm nothing but a baby, a simple child, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. You get trapped really easily in this game. The zombies do feel fast, which is nice because I'd say this is one of those rare zombie experiences where you're not necessarily playing for high rounds. I don't really remember during this YouTube craze when this game came out for people going for high rounds. It was more so the Easter eggs because they were pretty intuitive and they were actually really fun. I enjoy one where it integrates all parts of the maps and you get to see new things. Specifically Burger Town, where you unlock Big Boy and he's able to come out as like a robot sort of thing, like the GI unit. And I think you can upgrade him too, which is really cool. That's something we've never seen before. In the end, I believe you launch him into outer space. I'm not sure about the lore and what that means, but it's still really cool that they were able to add that. I think this was the company that made Modern Warfare 2 or 1, which is where he first appeared. So the fact that they gave him his own zombies map is something we haven't seen before. Besides Nuketown, which is a little bit boring. On a side note, I think Nuketown's getting way played out. How many times can we just make it sandy or wintry or throw some festival lights on it? We need something new. Nuketown, it's too much now. When I see it, I don't even want to play it. Because I play it the exact same way every time. It doesn't matter if you give me an exosuit, the super slide, higher speed, different aim down sights. It plays the same every time. And it seems like it's kind of a crutch to where the minute it comes out, they make it a 24/7 map game mode. Maybe inflates the player base by 5,000. And then people realize this is something new. But back to the main point. This zombies is hard. I don't think I got past round 15 when I was playing this. And I was surprised because I genuinely thought I was better. I mean, maybe in the heyday, but not right now. Descent. This was my favorite map, specifically for the Easter egg. I remember as a kid waking up every morning, texting my friends, and we would try at least 2 runs at the Easter egg because it was just that fun. You had steps like where you became a giant mech and had to go underwater to move a crate. There were certain rounds where you could only have grenades that took away your weapons. There were also dog rounds. I believe one was where you had to let the EMP zombie electrocute you so that you can move your electrocuted self over to a power generator to turn it on. There's also John Malkovich in this, who's the main boss. He was one of the players on the team, and then he just becomes cursed or something, or becomes a zombie. And he teleports you, I believe, every 5 rounds, and it unlocks this boss room. I'd say that's the first time in Zombies where we're introduced to a boss room, and you're not on the final step of the Easter egg. So it is nice to get acclimated to it, because there's a lot going on. He can electrocute the floors, add lasers to the sky, or just straight blow shit up. So it is cool that I'm able to get my bearings a little bit, and I'm not super surprised when it comes time for the final boss fight, because most Easter eggs, it's a total shit show. You just get all your perks, all your gobble gums, pray to fuck your weapon does enough damage, and it's mainly just a giant raid boss where you're just splitting shit up. I remember that for like the Grod Crovey Easter egg, the terrible Mob remake, to where those boss fights are like, okay, here's a giant plane, shoot this thing, and hope you're good enough at training. To where this one requires a little bit more strategy, and it's actually a pretty long boss fight. And rather than just shooting a giant boss who does a fuck ton of damage, he has 4 random windows in which he can spawn in. and it's a matter of guessing which one he's there to hopefully get some initial early damage, and then you're able to kill him. I was trying to get the Wonder Weapon for this video, but for the life of me, I was not getting anything good. The ASM-1, oh my god, the Speakeasy, this brings back memories. I do kind of wish the variants were in this game. I don't know if that'd be too overpowered, but the fact that I could have, like, oh man, someone in the comments tell me what the BAL 47, I believe it's called the BAL 47, what was the Obsidian Steel? Oh man, if I had my BAL with Obsidian Steel, I would be so lit. And then the ASM-1 with Speakeasy, like I said. Although now that I'm realizing it, it is quicker reload, so it kind of invalidates the reason to buy speed since it's already built into the gun. So I'm actually going to take that back. We're going to realize it was a little bit silly. Right there, the generator. Pretty intuitive. It comes out. And this map, I'd say, is not as gothic. The mood here is set to be cinematic, because this is where they flesh out the entirety of the story and everything becomes connected. So they really want to let you know this is the final destination. You're out in the middle of East Bumblefuck, underwater, and John Malkovich is just simply toying with you. We've never seen one of these underwater maps, which is really cool. There's also little fish and jellyfish that spawn, as well as a live weather update to where if you go up top, the waves are constantly moving and it's raining super heavy. There is one glaring issue, though, which is that ship map. I could not stand that map. I did all the Easter eggs, but that one I genuinely did avoid. I did not find it fun at all. I felt like the starting room was the only place in which I could seriously train. And then there was that Wonder Weapon, which shot a giant horizontal beam straight through people, and I believe it did damage to teammates, which is strange, because why is there friendly fire in zombies? It doesn't seem like that makes sense. It's a free-for-all in zombies, so why do I have to be worried about where I'm shooting? I want to tie this all in together by saying we got robbed. There was speculation that we were supposed to get Advanced Warfare 2, and rather than that, I believe we got Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. And boy, was that a safe play, because it was extremely boring, didn't do much new, it nailed you on nostalgia, and it was pretty inoffensive. I found more people finding that game boring than I did outright bad. An unpopular take here, I would rather have a Call of Duty be bad than outright boring. Because when it's boring, it's one of those Call of Duties where I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll play it, hop in 3 games of competitive, maybe have fun. To where if it's bad, at least I can respect that they tried something new. I think this was the first Call of Duty to introduce the whole exo movement with the double jump and everything, and we need to go back in this direction. I'm sick of the Black Ops. I'm sick of the Modern Warfares. It's nothing new. They kind of recycle the same guns, and we leave it at that. Zombies also needs to return to glory. That's something everybody's complaining about. That shit's just straight bad and offensive. That's a double whammy. The Easter egg is non-existent. It's maybe 4 steps in which you have to pick up shit. And then it's a super mega raid boss where you're just lighting him up. Here's John Malkovich here, and that's one of the windows I was talking about where he can spawn. And look at this cool-ass boss room. It's not very big, but it has a lot going on. Right there, that's the horizontal beams and the electrified floor. He's showing you what can possibly be, which is really cool, because why wouldn't you want to do the Easter egg then when they're already teasing it at you? Whereas these new zombies, it's like, yeah, I guess I can do the Easter egg at like round 15, and then it ends the game for me immediately, and I'm not getting much besides maybe a calling card. And do people even care about calling cards anymore? I don't think so. Ever since they changed it to where you have to move all the way right to see the calling cards rather than being directly out at you, no one cares to see them. So it is a little boring. You also don't unlock anything new, where in other games you were able to get the B23R, or what was it called? The RK5 in Black Ops 3, the best zombies of all time, by the way. I don't think that's a pretty lame take. I think everyone knows that's the best zombies. Chronicles was absolutely golden. The only thing that sucks, though, is that they couldn't really do another Chronicles, because what zombies maps could they remaster? Of course, everybody wants Transit, but with, what is it, Blundell leaving, kind of seems like that's lost. This is a money-making game, of course. It's always going to be top 5 in sellers when it comes out. They do some bullshit cinematic trailer to where they're setting the theme. I'm not going to lie, Black Ops 6 did dupe me. It did look really cool. I was vibing with it. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, wow, this is nothing new. And I'm not even worried about the DLC zombies maps. Yeah, the game's free, which is nice, but I'm not playing it. I also suck at Advanced Warfare Zombies.